There's a moment coming in your life, maybe it's already here. A woman will hurt you deeply, and she will know exactly what she did. She will feel it. The weight of it will sit on her chest day after day. The guilt will grow inside her slowly but surely. She will want your forgiveness. She will want to talk. She will need you to help her feel better. And this is where most men make the same mistake. They rush in, they comfort her, they downplay what happened. They take responsibility for her emotions. They try to make her feel okay again. They become the therapist in their own relationship. And in doing that, they sacrifice their own peace. But nothing actually heals. Nothing changes. This is about something different. This is about what happens when you don't do that, when you stay silent, when you allow her to sit with what she has done. Before we go deeper, subscribe, because this is about real masculine truth. Not games, not manipulation, not revenge. This is about your dignity, your self-respect, and your boundaries as a man. When a woman hurts you intentionally, something shifts inside her. She becomes aware of what she is capable of. She sees that she can cause pain. That awareness creates guilt, real guilt. And that guilt is hers to carry, not yours to fix, not yours to soften, not yours to manage. Most men were taught the wrong lesson. They were told that strength means being kind all the time. That being a man means taking care of a woman's emotions. But that is not strength. That is abandoning yourself. Real strength looks different. Real strength is standing still. Real strength is not reacting. Real strength is letting her feel the result of her actions. And this is where it becomes uncomfortable, because your instinct will push you to speak, to fix things, to make everything normal again. But it's not normal, and you shouldn't pretend that it is. There is a difference between punishment and consequence. Punishment is something you do to her. Consequence is something she experiences because of her actions. Your silence is not punishment, your silence is consequence. When you say nothing, something powerful happens. She is forced to sit with herself. She can't escape into conversation. She can't get reassurance. She can't turn it into her pain. She has to face what she actually did. And that is where growth begins. At the same time you protect your own energy, you are not draining yourself trying to manage her emotions. You are not losing yourself trying to fix something she created. You stay centered, you stay grounded. And that matters for your identity as a man, because your identity is not based on her feelings. It is based on what you know about yourself. When you choose silence, you are saying something without words. You are saying that you matter, that your pain matters, that your boundaries matter, that you will not abandon yourself just to make someone else feel better. And that is what real attraction is built on. Not neediness, not overgiving, but respect. Women say they want kind men, but what they really mean is they want strong men who are also kind. Strength comes first. A man who is kind without strength becomes weak, and weakness does not create respect. It creates patterns where you are tested again and again. But a man who is strong and kind is different. He has standards, he has limits, he knows his value, and because of that, his kindness has weight. When you stay silent after being hurt, you are both. You are strong because you don't collapse, and you are kind because you allow her to grow through consequence. You are not rescuing her from the discomfort that could change her. Now let's talk about what this does to you. When you don't speak, you have to sit with your own emotions. You have to feel your pain fully. You can't distract yourself with conversation. You can't pretend everything is fine. And this is where most men fail. They cannot sit with their own pain. So they talk, they explain, they try to fix, they try to understand everything immediately. But real strength comes from sitting with it, feeling it, allowing it to pass through you without running away from it. That is where you build yourself. Your self-respect depends on how you treat yourself in these moments. If you forgive too quickly, you send yourself a message that your pain doesn't matter much, that your boundaries are easy to cross, that you will accept anything just to keep peace. That is not self-respect. That is self-betrayal. Real self-respect says something different. It says, I was hurt, and that matters. I will not pretend otherwise. I will move at my own pace. When you stay silent, you are choosing yourself. You are choosing your truth over her comfort. And that is not cruelty. That is integrity. There's also a fear here that many men don't admit. They are afraid she will leave. They think if they don't comfort her, she will walk away. So they rush to fix everything. But think about that. If she only stays when you abandon yourself, she should not stay. If she needs you to ignore your own pain just so she can feel better, she does not respect you. Respect is built when a man has boundaries and holds them. She may leave when you stop managing her emotions. And if she does, that tells you everything you need to know. Because the right woman does not need you to fix her guilt. She faces it, she learns from it, she changes. Now understand this clearly. Silence speaks. It speaks louder than any explanation you could give. When you say nothing, you create space. She has to hear her own thoughts. She has to face herself. She cannot argue with silence. She cannot escape it. And that is powerful. Because words give her something to respond to. Words shift focus. Words create debate. But silence keeps the focus on her actions. It keeps the mirror in front of her. Society teaches us to talk through everything. But sometimes silence is the most honest response because it respects both of you. It respects her by holding her accountable, and it respects you by not forcing you to lie about how you feel. There is a principle here. Every action has a consequence. If you touch fire, you get burned. If you betray, you face distance. That is how growth happens. But when you remove consequence, you remove growth. If you always forgive instantly, you teach her that hurting you has no cost. And that pattern will repeat again and again. But when the pattern becomes different, when she hurts you and has to face the result, then something changes. Then growth becomes possible. There is also something deeper under her guilt. Shame. Guilt says, I did something wrong. Shame says, I am wrong. And shame wants to escape. It wants reassurance. It wants you to say everything is okay. But that is not your responsibility. Her emotions are hers. Her self-image is hers. You are not responsible for fixing it. When you jump in to comfort her, you become responsible for her emotional state. And that is not a healthy relationship. That is dependence. Silence changes that. Silence says she has to face herself, she has to decide who she wants to be. And that is actually a form of respect, because you are trusting that she is strong enough to grow. At the same time, you are reconnecting with yourself. Most men have abandoned themselves. They focus so much on others that they forget their own needs, their own feelings, their own identity. When you stay silent, you return to yourself. You say, my emotions matter, my peace matters. And that is where your strength rebuilds. Yes, it will feel uncomfortable. There will be tension. Silence will feel heavy. You will want to break it. She may cry, she may apologize again and again. She may ask what she can do. All of that is pressure. And your job is to stay still, because in that stillness, everything becomes clear. There is also freedom in this. When you stop trying to fix her emotions, you become free. Free from the pressure, free from pretending, free from resentment. And on the other side of that freedom is clarity. The relationship will either grow or end. And both are better than staying in something fake. When you finally speak again, your words will be different. They will not come from fear. They will not come from desperation. They will come from clarity. You will say what you mean. You will set your terms. You will decide what happens next. And that is real power, because now you are not reacting, you are choosing. This also creates real accountability. Not fake apologies, not surface level change, but real change, because she had to sit with what she did. And you will see the truth. Whether she has changed or whether she was only trying to escape the discomfort, silence reveals that. It reveals reality. And that is one of the greatest things you can give someone. Not comfort, but truth. Now understand this. Being a man does not mean fixing everything. Sometimes it means doing nothing. Sometimes it means staying still. Sometimes it means choosing yourself over the situation. That is real masculinity. Not being a caretaker, not being a people pleaser, but being grounded. When you live like this, you become different. You become calm. You become centered. You become someone who is not controlled by others. And that is powerful. Because now you are not reacting to life. You are leading yourself. Your purpose does not stop because someone hurt you. You keep building. You keep moving. And from that place, everything becomes clear. Either she aligns with you or she doesn't. But you don't stop for anyone. That is the difference between a man with purpose and a man without one. So choose who you want to be. The man who loses himself trying to fix everything, or the man who stands firm and protects himself, because one leads to exhaustion and the other leads to strength. There is peace in this path, not comfort, not ease, but real peace. The peace that comes from knowing you didn't betray yourself, and that is worth everything. So when the moment comes, remember this. Say nothing, let her sit with it, let yourself feel it, and let truth do what it needs to do. If this reached you, subscribe and stay on this path. This is where real growth happens.